Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Monday Night Must See TV here on Sea of Tranquility with the Hudson Valley Squares. We've got somewhat of a short crew here tonight, but we might have the rest joining in late. We've got Steve Keeler, Butch Jones, Chris Allo, Ryan Scow, and of course, Rich Catino up in the upper left, because we got to put the Jersey guy in the upper left, you know.
Nice.
Tonight is another favorite album releases from a specific year. So I have given everybody 1994, okay, for everybody to pick their three favorite releases from that year. If they want to throw out an honorable mention or two, they can certainly do that. And I'm going to have going first today. Happy birthday to Butch. Everybody, let's give a round of applause for
Happy 29th.
5 on Saturday, right?
Yeah, Saturday, yeah.
So happy birthday
you.
to Butch, and we'll have Butch kick us off with his choices here from 1994.
All right, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. So 1994 was actually, I think, was a really good year. As much as people try to slag the 90s for good music, but so I'll give you my top three, which was the top two were not hard at all. The third one, trying to figure out which one to make my third was a little difficult. But my number three pick from 1994 is Machine Head's Burn My Eyes.
Good one.
That's woof. I was at this is Z-Rock era, so I was at Z-Rock during this time. So this was a great time. But yeah, I remember when this record came out, man, that was completely brutal. And I remember I couldn't wait to take it to my friend Tony Alves. He was a tattoo artist at the time and did a bunch of stuff on me. And I remember going to his shop and, dude, you got to hear this band. And that's all it took, man. Those guys, that record is just a beyond metal classic, without a doubt. Number two, King's X Dogman. King's X, talk a lot, at least I talk a lot about them, a band that still is a phenomenal band, a band that should have been. I mean, I remember when that record came out, I loved everything up to that, and that record came out, and I was like, I remember telling everybody, it's like, if this band doesn't blow up from this record, there's going to be a problem, because that record is pretty much perfect. That's the heaviest production they had. Brendan O'Brien produced it. That record is just a killer. If any of you guys don't have that, I know Pete probably doesn't have it.
I do have it. I just yeah. I was just listening to that yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Oh, there you go. You're making an effort to come around to them.
Well, here's the deal. I bought that little box set that had the first 5 albums on CD. I bought that. I've been listening to that a lot. I dig those albums. And then I just ordered 3 others. I think there's like 3 more that are out of print, or they got a lot of albums. So
yeah, they do.
I'm really trying, everybody. I'm really trying. And I will say, third time's the charm, because I've tried on multiple, and I never disliked King's X.
Right.
I never got him, I guess, but it's starting to happen.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the number one album from 1994, I was at the show at Roseland Ballroom when they were presented with their platinum records for being the number one album on Billboard. Pantera's Far Beyond Driven, of which I had to wear my Dime shirt for that.
There you go.
You kind of gave it away tonight. I said, man, he's gonna have to pick the Pantera. He's got the Dime shirt on.
Exactly. But again, another brutal record. This has been my favorite Pantera record for a long time. The production is phenomenal. Everything about that is, the songs are really, really heavy. It debuted at number 1, which was phenomenal. Dime just crushes on it. Vinnie Paul's drum tone on it is phenomenal. Vinnie does his best playing of his entire career on that record, and Phil sounds great. So those are my top 3. I'll run off a couple of honorable mentions, and I just grabbed this one as the actually show, because I love this band. Memento Mori.
Nice.
Oh yeah, Messiah. Oof.
That's a great one.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Great album.
And Life, Death, and Other Morbid Tales. This is a great record. The Motley Crue record from '94 is phenomenal. COC record, Deliverance, another phenomenal record. One of my favorite Megadeth records, Euthanasia. So there's another one. I mean, I've got a list here, but I don't want to run through them all, because I'm sure you guys will probably pick out a couple of them. But I will say also Blue Saraceno's Hair Pick. That's a great record too.
True.
The much underrated Blue Saraceno. So
The Mets must have just scored. My wife is in the other room.
classic. So there you go.
Very cool. Very cool. Butch, go answer your door.
Yes, I heard the door. So yeah. So I'm assuming I know what's going on with that. So hang on.
Uh-oh.
While Butch is answering his door, Steve, you want to give us your picks here?
Me, I'm going for geez, I was hoping Scow was going to go before me, but I felt we were going to overlap, and I could have used some second choices. But
I assure you, we're not going to overlap. I promise.
really, not going to overlap. So my number 3 album from 1994 is Emperor Into the Night Side Eclipse.
Hi.
Okay, we're going to overlap on that one. We will
Wait a
overlap on
second.
that.
Hi.
Maybe I should hold
Oh,
on.
what's going on here?
Happy birthday, Snoopy. Hi, guys. Look where I am. We're infiltrating.
You're infiltrating into.
We're infiltrating into the abyss. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Who else you got there with you, Lynn?
Well, it's me, Nick, and Schmoopy,
And my very
and Wayne Gretzky. We have Wayne Gretzky. And we're here because Butch is a fucker and didn't invite us. So we just came to infiltrate. Oh, wait, hello, here we are. Okay, I'm gonna hang up my phone so we don't get all fucked up. Bye-bye now.
Okay,
This is
cool.
guerrilla filmmaking at its very
Nice.
best, everybody.
Talk about being put on the spot.
Aw.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness! Look at they're all in the same room.
Look at that smile on Butch's face.
I've never seen Butch smile that much since Vivian Campbell was on an episode I did a month or two ago.
Since he went tanning with John Sykes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, that was a special day, I heard.
Okay. So should I continue now?
Hey,
Pete?
Butch,
Is there
can you
any more?
pass the oil, mate?
Just a little oil in the back, please.
We can't hear you guys, but hello. Yeah, Steve,
Yeah.
continue with your picks, Steve. Steve's going to continue.
I just felt like I was going to get interrupted, so I wanted to let them get their time, their surprise party. So yeah, number 3, I'll go back if you didn't hear, was Emperor Into the Night Side Eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
I feel the early 90s metal is changing a lot of, like, you know, the glam metal and the traditional metal was starting to lose a lot of steam, but yet death metal and some of the European like melodic metal and black metal was gaining their feet. And another, I'll talk about another genre and honorable mentions that had just begun at that time too. But number 3 is going to be Emperor Into the Night Side Eclipse. And I know Scow's going to talk more about it, so I'm not going to go in too big a detail. My number 2 record from that year is also a black metal album that's become quite notorious and quite legendary, Mayhem with De Mysterious Dom Satanis, which is was released in that year and has become just a milestone in the black metal, along with Emperor, of course. And of course, you know, Funeral Fog, Freezing Moon, they came around before the pandemic and were touring for like a couple of years doing that album, and one of my favorite albums, and giving some black metal love tonight on the episode, obviously. My number 1 album from that year, one I'd listened to the most. If I went back in a time capsule, I probably didn't even listen to Mayhem and Emperor when they first came out. I was listening to other stuff. Testament, Low, Legions in Hiding, Dawn-Faced Gods, The Ballad Trail, Tears. I'm going to leave out a lot of stuff, but that would be my number 1 from that year.
That's a great
Yeah.
Testament album.
Yeah, it's a great album.
Love that one.
I guess my honorable mentions are a band called Black Sabbath, Without Cross Purposes, an album I really like. You can't, it's very almost forgotten, I'd say, in some forms of meaning, because it's not on things like Spotify. It's kind of hard to come by. You can't buy it on CD anymore. But Cross Purposes, I want to make a mention to. I want to mention Amorphous, Tales from a Thousand Lakes from that year. I want to mention, Butch mentioned Pantera, and I mean, Pantera, when that album came out, they were on top of the world, and it was one of the strongest records from that year. Slayer with Divine Intervention, Marduk with Opus Nocturne from that
Great
year.
album.
My last honorable mention is the birth of new metal with Korn with their self-titled album.
Oof.
I'm glad you liked it. I know Rich is a big new metal guy, so I wanted to throw that in just for Rich.
I lost my hearing when you said that.
Yeah, now you got a ringing sound in your ear.
That's
Yeah,
all right. You got
yeah.
some good, you had some great picks there, Steve. So that's
Yeah.
Good job, Steve Keeler.
Cannibal Corpse, The Bleeding was my last honorable mention.
Oh, yeah.
I'm done now. I can go. See you guys next week. Bye.
All right. Let's go back to the birthday room here. So do we have you guys on microphone?
Use sign language.
Yeah, we don't hear you.
Can't hear
Can't
you.
hear. Set up a smoke signal.
Somehow they shut the sound off when I pulled in there.
No, I was using my mic and then they came in, so I had to go back to the camera mic.
There you go.
Now we can hear you guys.
We're not cool enough to use his mic. He won't let us use it.
So yeah, we kind of planned a little birthday celebration for you here, and we've actually got something for you from all of us, and then we have something for you from a viewer who sent something.
Oh,
So
Wow.
I heard the uh-oh.
Open our gift first.
the heavy gift.
Yeah. Well, there's two little teeny gifts. Wonder what it is.
No, I'm trying to think if I know what it is without what brand it is without.
Hopefully it's bourbon.
It is,
Running
but
low, pizza.
I think I might. No, I would have got it wrong. Elijah Craig's. Oh, wow.
Oh,
You're
Got a
welcome.
small batch. Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Look, everybody. Bourbon.
Bourboning. He's bourboning. And there's little, go ahead, little thingies. No, the little thingies, little, for when you want to go to the bar and you don't want to wait for a drink, and you can put these in your pocket. There's two of them, not the same kind though. I don't know what the hell it is.
Howler Head. What the hell?
I
is
don't
that?
know what Howler Head is, and I don't know anything about bourbon, but
It's bourbon's from Kentucky. I've never heard of that
from
one.
Kentucky. There's
Wow,
one more,
Howler Head,
there's one
okay.
more. This is for when Butch gets impatient in bars and doesn't want to wait for a drink anymore.
So that's a bring your own to the party like we used to do back in the 80s, right?
No, he's sneaking booze in the chance. Don't tell Frank.
I was just gonna
And a
say,
little Evan Williams.
next chance show, it's gonna be packed. Put a couple of those in
Okay,
your
and
pocket.
this is the thing from the people.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta get my camera for this shit.
You guys even see me as I do this shit? Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's not gonna tell it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, hold on to the camera. What do we got there? Oh, there he is.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Come on,
That's all.
that is,
First John Sykes mention.
Yes, and you know what? I forgot to mention it. So yes, the SOT drinking game. He just said it. So if any of us say any of those names, like I mentioned last week, so John Sykes, Edward, Cozy Powell. There's a fourth one, and I forgot the fourth one.
it was cozy fucking pal,
Well,
anyway.
either way. So yes, there's drinking to be done now. If any of us say those names, you got to drink. So
Okay,
play the SOT drinking game.
all right, John Sykes.
Wow, Lynn's drinking something other than water.
She's drinking bourbon. Let's see how this works.
I guess you didn't like that too much, huh?
That was fucking disgusting.
Yeah, and that was the other one. Yeah,
Lynn, that'll put hair on your
Oh,
chest.
shit.
Yep, there it is.
That's problems.
You don't got to drink it.
It looks like a little kid having their first drink from dad.
Look out, Lynn's gonna get
Definitely put hair on
loaded.
your
Look
chest.
out.
This is right.
I remember.
Chase it with bottled water. You gonna make it?
Jesus
That was
Christ.
disgusting.
Ryan, nice with the Cayman Jack right there.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
God. What
Milking
are
it
you
for
drinking?
milking it for all it's worth.
Oh,
All right, somebody's milking
Oh,
something. Can I have some milk?
goddamn.
Speaking of milk, Jesus Christ.
Milk and bourbon.
No. Yeah, like what am I fucking now? I need a boo-boo
Drink.
kitty too. It's like
Maybe
the
just
Laverne and
like
Shirley
Kahlua.
with milk and Pepsi.
You will not throw up in the hockey room.
Thank you so much, guys. I hate it, but I love it.
nice.
You'll wear it. You'll
There you
wear it.
go.
We'll make sure of it.
That is very cool. It is really cool. Now I really hope that he put the album out so I can not have to wear this anymore.
There you go. There you go.
John Sykes, where are you? Don't be missing anymore. So Butch can
Yes, get that album out.
Yeah, exactly. Tony Franklin's been trying, so just know that Tony Franklin has been working hard trying to get this to happen. He's done everything he can, so it's out of his hands now. So, but thanks, Tony. Work harder, please.
Wait, why do
Thanks,
you sound
guys.
like me in the morning?
What do you mean?
He sounds like me in the morning. I hope he doesn't have the COVID.
Oh, God.
Oh.
The what?
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
I
Let's
told
let's
you, I
get
don't
back
like
to our
COVID.
let's get back to our picks here. Chris Allo, what are your 3 picks from '94?
All right, I'll make it quick. Steve mentioned a couple of mine, so I'm saying them anyway. The Black Sabbath, Cross Purposes, really good record. Definitely kind of forgotten. Features a guest appearance by Butch Jones's favorite, Edward Van Halen, but I thought it was a pretty solid record. Butch mentioned this one too. I really dug it. I couldn't find. Pete makes fun of me. I could not find my fucking copy, my autographed copy of Cross Purposes. I only had one. I knew I should have bought another one because now I can't. I got it somewhere, but
All right, here's the deal, Chris. As a
You took it?
massive Black Sabbath fan who has all this cool Sabbath shit, you need to have a room or a corner of your house or garage that has everything you own by Black Sabbath that you know where it is at all times.
well, that's the crazy thing. I'll show you. I have a Sabbath section. It's my biggest section of anything I have in the music, but Cross Purposes wasn't there. And I went 3 times hoping it would magically appear, and it never did. I'm like, ah, fuck. I got it somewhere,
Wait
but
a minute, Chris, you haven't had Ryan Scow over lately, have you?
why does Ryan Scow have sticky fingers?
Oh, I got a
You know, you
t-shirt
still
from
got a
Steve, like,
T-shirt from mine from back in the
20
back in
years
the
ago,
90s.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's not
Steve
going to let you
still-
live. Guy's got 10,000 T-shirts. He's not going to let you live that one down.
That's not one. You know, it was for the band Unearthed, but the design was from the first Boston album.
Oh,
He remembers.
Yeah.
I think he wore it yesterday at the car wash or something.
I haven't seen that shirt since like Clinton was in office, Steve. I'm sorry.
Neither have I.
Oof,
Neither have
Never
I.
coming back. Never coming back.
that's funny.
So,
All right, so
you
cross
got Deliverance
purposes-
you got? Yeah, you got to have that, right? Yeah.
COC Deliverance, man. I love COC. My second favorite record by them.
Great one.
Very guitar heavy. And my other one, man, I really, one of my favorite bands, Danzig 4, which
Wow.
was a dark, brooding, heavy record. For me, honorable mentions. I think they were already mentioned. In my opinion, the greatest death metal album of all time, The Bleeding from Cannibal Corpse. Maybe the second greatest death metal album of all time, in my opinion. Heartwork from Carcass, man. I still listen to this record.
Nice.
Both this and The Bleeding are still totally fucking crushing. And if I get another honorable mention, I really like the Motley Crue record and Acid Bath, When the Kite String Pops. I got others, but that's my list.
Awesome.
You know, interesting note on the Cannibal Corpse record, DCM actually covered Stripped, Raped, and Strangled at the Sportland USA.
Oh, nice! I remember Sportland. That was a cool place.
Long time ago. Cool. All right, let's go back to the birthday room. Nick Franco, you got your picks ready?
Yes, I do.
All right, what do you got?
All right.
You want to change? You want to go to the?
Yeah, maybe I should go on the.
All right, Nick, he's getting in this chair
I'm gonna
now.
go on the big boy chair.
We're rotating. All right, you go there.
Okay.
Nick, you gonna sip some bourbon in that chair just like Linda?
I did.
I'm
He
gonna-
has to.
I'm gonna wonder what Nick has on his damn shirt or his hat. Where is it? Oh.
Oh, your shirt's very legible today.
You can change your.
So is your hat. Everything you're wearing is
yeah,
very
that's
legible.
fine. So there's a lot of albums that I could have talked about. It was a very, very, very explosive year for Butch's favorite style of metal, black metal, the all that Norwegian stuff. But I'm gonna kind of avoid that, okay, because that could be its own thing. So I'm not gonna say Ancient Rites, Diabolical Serenades.
He's not
I'm not going to run through Gorgoroth and Enslaved. I'm not really going to run through the Cradle of Filth and Emperor. This is my
How
way
many
of
CDs did
cheating.
you bring, man? Holy cow.
I brought a few for our extreme metal following. But I instead I'm going to keep it extreme but more accessible. I want to give a shout out to Napalm Death's
Woo!
Fear, Emptiness, Despair.
Great
That's
album.
an album that I love, and it has aged very well. Twist the Knife Slowly, always a
First one I
romantic
heard.
song. One for the ladies. Plague Rages, Armageddon ×7, Retching on the Dirt. That's Napalm Death being a little more experimental, but still very heavy, very dark.
Who doesn't like retching?
Yeah, and then we're gonna go over to Switzerland to Samael's Ceremony of Opposites. At the time, you could have just logged this under black metal, but it was very, very atmospheric, depressing, and really, really an oppressive atmosphere on this album. And nobody really did an album quite like that, and they didn't even do an album like that again. So I think it was a special moment in time.
I saw that tour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When, you mean when it came out?
Yeah. Well,
That's
not this year. Yeah, when it came out. Yeah, I saw that tour.
That's awesome. I want to give him my honorable mention is going to be Master of the Rings by Halloween, which is
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Where the Rain Grows is one of my favorite Halloween songs of all time. It's just incredible album.
Power metal alert.
And then my favorite album from the year 1994 is also one of my favorite albums on earth from my beloved Amorphous, Tales from a Thousand Lakes.
I actually have. You gotta hold that art up, Nick. That artwork.
That's right.
Sumptuous.
This LP right here was sold at Maryland Death Fest, and apparently, according to the little sticker, they only made 100 of these. So yeah, so pretty special. It's like, you know, folk metal, a little bit of death metal, a lot of things going on in this record. And again, it was kind of a moment in time, and it was an explosive year. And one of my favorite years was the year I graduated high school also. And it was the year that the New York Rangers won the Stanley Cup. It's my only cup, Steve.
And you can't say 1940 anymore since that stinks.
That's right.
It's his only cup.
And that's my picks.
Very cool. Thank you, Nick.
All right. I will go. in the
Mr.
back now.
Catino, what do you got for us?
Oh,
All right. So I picked a thrash album, a power metal album, of course, and a traditional metal one. So I'm going to go with New Jersey's Overkill and WFO.
Good album.
Yeah, nice return after I Hear Black. Which
I Hear Black
okay.
is good. Leave it alone.
Love
It's okay,
Overkill.
but it's a little too Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
It's a little too Black Sabbath, not enough Overkill. So this one's a great return, like Where It Hurts and Gasoline Dream and Fast Junkie. What else is on here? They Eat Their Young is really nasty. Yeah, great album.
Wow.
Halloween, Master of the Rings. Love this album. This should have came out after Keeper Part 2.
Yes, it should have.
Because they had Pink Bubbles and Chameleon, which are okay. You know, they were experimental, poppy, showed their diversity, but this is classic Halloween again. So you got Soul Survivor, great opener, Where the Rain Grows, Why is a great song, Mr. Ego, Perfect Gentleman, Still We Go. This is a excellent Halloween album.
I agree.
And Dio, Strange Highways,
I forgot to mention that.
shit.
I had it written down as an honorable mention, but I didn't want to name it
which
15.
I love this
Underrated
album.
album, big time.
Really
Yeah, it's
underrated.
heavy, it's dark. It definitely could have been like the Lost Black Sabbath album, which came out after Dehumanizer, after Dio left. But yeah, I love this album. I loved it when it first came out. I bought it when it first came out, and I still love it.
Absolutely.
It's cool. And then my honorable mentions, I got a collage here because I can't keep track of the albums that come out every year. So I make these collages so I can keep track of what came out. How about Annihilator, King of the Kill?
Yep.
That was a great album. Running Wild Black Hand In was great. That came out that year. What's that?
That's one of the best Running Wild albums. For me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
it
good
is.
album.
Stradivarius, Dream Space, and Sabotage, Handful of Rain came out that year too.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Just got to see
Nice.
those.
Yeah, so I make these so I can keep track of every year because I can't remember all the stuff that comes out, you know?
They got this thing, Rich, called Google. You could just fucking Google it too.
But you know what? For doing all this kind of stuff, I have it in front of me. It's real easy.
I mean, I love your dedication. I'm just saying.
That's fucking great.
Wait a minute, they invented something called the internet, Chris?
Yeah,
Oh,
crazy.
The latest thing.
Al Gore.
When
Al
you're
Gore
doing
put it
this, you got
together.
right in
Al
front of
Gore
you.
whipped it up
It's
himself.
great, you know?
And Chris, seeing
Oh.
as on the Monsters, then he's our resident Google and Wikipedia expert.
I love Rich. I love his dedication, but that's crazy, Rich. You're a
And you
crazy
know what else came out
motherfucker.
too?
you know, it's kind of neat how the album's going to collage to hang on your.
Oh, it looks great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man.
Now, Rich, do you have a room dedicated in your house that has every year of the albums that you like all up on the wall?
No, not like that, but I have everything I went from the 70s up to the 2000s.
Wow.
That is cool.
So I try to keep track of every year and what came out, what I liked, what I bought, what was great that maybe if I didn't even own it, it was still a great album, you know?
I mean, to Rich's defense, what is cooler, going to Google and looking up something or having those cool little mini?
Having a great
Oh, for
car,
sure.
right?
Riches is cooler. Yeah, Riches is cooler.
Plus, when we do this kind of stuff, you guys tell me the year, I could pull it up and hold it up and, little visual reference.
Nice
Makes it
visual
easy
aid.
for you.
There you go. All right, good pick.
As long as you can find the sheets, you'll be all right.
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
I got them in order from 1970 up to 2000.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I think 2000,
That's way
2005
too
is the most
organized
recent
for
year I
me.
did. So I got another 15 years to go.
All right, get cracking on that.
I don't know,
Coming
Chris,
out of the
what's
pandemic,
cooler, that or Jamie Laszlo's every movie he's ever watched for the last 30?
Dude, that motherfucker's crazy. That's totally nuts.
That's intense.
All right, let's go back to the birthday room. Lynn.
All right, get up.
Woo!
Lynn's got to do another shot.
Rotating. Hold on. I like Butch's chair.
Pass me my bourbon
Oh.
over there.
This one?
No, not the new
Oh.
one.
Captain's log, star date.
There we go.
All right, hi. How
Hi.
you doing?
Hello.
I'm so excited. I feel like Butch right now in his room.
First album score graph.
You're so excited.
Pick
You
one.
feel
First
like
album
Butch.
is worth something.
I don't know if anyone's ever said that before other than Butch.
What?
You're so excited you feel like Butch.
Well,
Which
You're a real Butch fan.
I mean, listen, this chair is like, it's really comfortable and my head, I can go back and he's got the lightsaber over his thing. I got a lightsaber.
It's kind of like, it's kind of like sitting in Gene Simmons' chair for the first time or something.
Yeah, something like that. I'm surrounded by Evil Knievel, Wayne Gretzky, and whoever the fuck.
Hey,
Patrick
Lynn,
Sharp.
just think maybe next week you could go to Ryan Scow's house and the dog could wash your face and stuff.
Oh my God. Well, my dogs wash my face, so I think
Those
I'm
dogs,
okay.
those dogs don't like anybody else.
I don't need any more licks and kisses on my face. I'm good.
Yeah, the dog didn't
We're
show
only
up
at
when I
the
was
half
out.
hour mark, so in about 10 minutes, we'll see Ryan's dogs making an appearance.
Nice.
Yeah, they're scheduled. They're on the schedule.
Yeah.
All right, so my things, right?
Yes.
I gotta have a paper because I'm fucking old and I don't remember and I didn't make any fucking collages.
Drink.
Oh, shoot.
Is there thank you?
Oh,
There's gonna be some drunk. The comments this week
I
should be
thought
great
you
because
said
everyone's gonna
Thursday.
be drunk.
Thursday. All right, so
Yes.
my honorable mention, which I liked Green Day back then. I don't know why, but I did. Their album Dookie. Okay, it's a little honorable mention. My number 3 is Live. I really liked the band Live. Back then, I used to play that album. Well, it wasn't an album. It was actually a CD or a tape recorder. It was Throwing Copper, and it was produced by Jerry Harrison of the Talking Heads, but you didn't know that. It's their second studio album. And do you remember that song, I Alone Love You? Remember that song? No?
Yes.
Nobody?
No.
Yeah, I remember that song. They were
Yeah.
they were a big
Yeah,
band.
lightning crashes all over you, all over me. No?
Yeah, I'm with you, Lynn. I'm with you. I remember that
Well,
band,
Pete
but
doesn't know it. All right.
I know it.
Anyway, Live Throwing
WLRP.
Copper, you should really listen to it, Pete, because it's a good record.
Chris, should I listen to it?
probably not. But let's just go with it.
Chris,
I'm sorry,
what
Lynn.
the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, listen,
last week.
for like 1990s like alt grunge
You're
rock,
fucking
they
me.
were not terrible. I
That's
like them
what
better
I'm
than
saying,
Pearl
from
Jam and Nickelback.
1994, which, whatever.
Hey, Chris, you better not piss Lynn off. She's gonna take your win away from the
I know.
mix
I
it.
picked you and everything. Now you're fucking me at the drive-thru. What the hell?
Wait, what?
Like, what kind of guinea are you? We're supposed to, like, hey, it's.
Listen, they're better than they're better than some. That's for sure.
Better than some.
Yeah, he's right.
I can tell what station she was listening to.
That's a stirring fucking
All right,
phrase
that's
right
my
there.
number 3. Ready for my number 2?
Yes.
My number 2 is Soundgarden, Super Unknown, because I fucking love Chris Cornell. I love him so much. It's not funny. And it's the 4th studio album, but the last song on that record, She Likes Surprises, because I fucking can totally relate to those lyrics. Very good. But you know what? Not for nothing. It's a kind of messed up lyrics. And who doesn't like surprises anyway? I like surprises.
Yeah.
Butch likes
Butch had a
surprises.
surprise today.
Well, Butch didn't have a choice. He liked the damn surprise. Their previous album was Bad Moto Finger, and I had to laugh because it reminded me of Get on Your Bad Boy Scooter and Ride. Remember? Even though it's not Bad Boy Scooter and Ride, it's
Lindsay
something
Lohan
else.
lyrics.
Bad boy, what was that? Bad boy scooter?
Yeah, that's how she sings my
That's
truth.
it.
I've been singing that song to Butch for years. And then
Yeah.
I found out that that's not the lyrics.
Might as well.
Close.
We could do a whole show on my fucked up lyrics,
Yeah.
for sure, no
For
question.
sure.
So my number one, I kind of had a thing. It's Butch, and everybody else picked it. It's my Pantera. It's their 7th studio album. It went platinum. It's fucking Pantera. First album as Dimebag Darrell. Did you know that?
On the album, yep.
He was called Diamond Darrell before that.
From Glam Terra, yes.
Yes, so, but I didn't even know if you knew that. But I have to say, because everyone picked a Pantera, I feel like maybe I should just give you my one last one, and that would be Johnny Cash, American Recordings. Johnny Cash is a fucking badass.
That album fucking rules.
It does rule, and you know what else about that record? Let me tell you a little something. He recorded the song 13. That song 13 was by who? Another
Glenn Danzig?
Glenn Danzig, and it's on the fucking Satan's Child record. So, god damn it.
Wow, she's drinking.
She's
Glenn
not
Glenn
supposed
Danzig
to
wrote
drink.
that song for
Yeah.
Johnny Cash.
You're not supposed to drink.
Yeah, Rick
You told me
Rubin.
to drink. You just
At the
said
time,
to drink.
Danzig was on American Records, and Rick Rubin called him up, and he wrote the song for Johnny Cash. He was a big Johnny Cash fan.
How
He
cool
wrote
was
that
that
song
though?
before.
That Glenn Danzig sings it and fucking Johnny Cash. He's a badass.
I mean, Johnny Cash was getting, doing rock and roll stuff with that.
Anyway,
If I'm not
so
mistaken,
I
I
think
think,
that you guys should listen to the Johnny Cash record. It's his 81st record, dude.
I've
In
heard it.
1994, his 81st record. Come on.
great.
How
I've
awesome
listened
is
to
that?
Fucking
That's
great. Where was
badass.
There you go.
So
Chris,
that's
wasn't,
it. That's my picks
wasn't,
that I'm sticking
Danzig-
I'll
to it.
listen to that over Green Day.
Oh, this is the tour.
Ryan's saying something, but I can't hear it. I can't hear you, Ryan.
I didn't- Wasn't Danzig's father like a really big Cash fan? So he was honored to
Yeah,
write that song.
and Danzig himself was a big Johnny Cash fan. I mean, he wrote songs for Johnny Cash and Roy Orbison. And Danzig used to be like, yeah, I wrote songs for these guys, and then they immediately fucking died.
That
I
album was
think
on,
we should all
I'll drink to that.
listen to
on
Johnny
Top
Cash.
Can Records, wasn't it?
Oh, he
Is
didn't
Taken
immediately
Steve?
die after that. Cash lived for a while after. He put out like 4 more albums after that one.
Oh, did he? All right.
So maybe
did
he
up
had
to
85 records? I don't know.
He did
Lynn, you
like
gonna be
5
okay to get
albums
home?
for Rubin.
I don't know.
It's Butch's birthday celebration, and Lynn's the one getting hammered.
Nice.
He told me to drink.
I'm telling everyone else to
Said-
drink. not
You didn't, you said drink. I said the F word. You
I'm
said
saying it to
drink.
them.
I was obliging.
Drink, drink, drink.
All right, Ryan, what are your
I'm not
what are your
listening
3
to
picks
you.
from 1994?
Wait, before Ryan goes, Lynn, I'm surprised you didn't pick Queensryche, Promised Land.
Yeah, I thought there
I
was a
don't
Queensryche
love
record
it.
then
I
too.
also
Because I
thought
don't
you
love
were.
I can go back to the
I
collage.
don't love it
How
either.
could I pick it if
Yeah,
I
let's go
don't
to the
love it?
collage. It's right there.
I see it. Yeah.
This one is even more important that she didn't pick from 1994.
I don't, the Motley Crue?
Yeah.
Motley fucking Crue. I don't love that one
How
either.
do you not love that record?
I just don't love either one. Why am I picking shit I don't love?
She's feeling it. She's getting feisty now.
I see.
It's hot in here.
You're cut off. You're cut
You gotta
off.
take this outside.
Somebody put the air.
Woo!
It's hot in here.
Funny.
All right, Ryan, what do you got
It's
for us?
getting hot in here.
Oh, no.
Are we? I'm just waiting for the little party to wrap up over here.
I'm sorry.
All right, so you know what? I'm glad you picked this year because the last one we did was 79. And 79 easy. What was 79? AC/DC, UFO, Priest. Everyone fucking loves those bands. That's easy. So I was real curious how 94 was going to go because just as it worked out, I was started middle school in 1990 and I graduated high school in 2000. So just by my childhood was dead set in the 90s. So I heard all the music on the radio that decade, and I fucking hated it. I was not into anything. I love 80s rock. I love 80s pop music, all that stuff. 70s, I love it. 60s, but the 90s stuff, I fucking hated. So all my picks from the 90s are all just total underground metal. That's what that decade is to me. 100% top to bottom. So I'll start with my honorable mentions real quick. From Canada, this is probably the one pick that's not underground metal, but it is kind of metalish. Band Frontline Assembly did the album Millennium. Kind of an industrial metal band. The guitars on this album are done by Devin Townsend before he started Strappy Young Lad. Year before Strapping started. So these guys were cool. I've got some Norwegian black metal that wasn't mentioned. Obviously, Steve mentioned Mayhem was mentioned, Emperor was mentioned. But one of the other big bands from that year put out a pivotal album for black metal. Was Dark Throne, Transylvanian Hunger. Great fucking album. Sounds like a blender just going right through your skull. It's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
I remember,
Woo!
Yes.
I first heard this album. I was drinking with these two total derelicts in their garage when I was probably 17, 16. And the guy's like, check this out, man. He puts it on. I'm like, I've never heard anything like this in my life. It's fucking crazy. And so it's just good to have really kind of sleazy people show you stuff like this. So I got fond memories of that. Obviously, I want to mention the Mayhem album, De Mysterious Amsterdamnus, classic fucking Norwegian black metal. I know Steve Hughes has been on the show.
It's a great album.
Yep, Steve Hughes has been on the show a couple of times as a guest. I was talking to him the other day. He reminded me of a great album that he played on in 1994, an Australian black metal album. The band's called Noxul. Names from Lord of the Rings. The album was Totem. And so then I'm going to get to my top three. Steve mentioned it, but it's my favorite black metal album from Scandinavia, and that is Emperor and the Nightside Eclipse. That's probably my favorite artwork on any album. I mean, I gotta just that is fucking sick.
Are those
Yeah,
all
Christian
original
Newman.
albums or are they reprints?
What's up?
Are those albums all originals or are they reprints?
A mix. The Dark Throne's original. The Mayhem's a newer one. This one I had it on CD, but the vinyl is a reprint. Actually a better print of the album cover. It's a little darker blue. Looks cool.
So Ryan, what's your favorite two songs from the Nightside Eclipse?
Oh man, it's what? Every song on this album is great. But me and Nick were actually listening to this the other day discussing this. I Am the Black Wizards. It's fucking great. Cosmic Keys to My Creation and Times, Inno Satana. I've heard this album, I don't know, conservatively about 400 billion times. So I just have to listen to the whole thing start to end. It is so good.
Sure.
Yeah, I wonder what would happen if you had gone over. You went conservative with 400 billion.
I
Jeez.
know. I listened with 400 billion at one time.
That's the lower boundary. The upper boundary is probably a lot higher, but I didn't want to fudge the numbers. My number two pick, going back to Australia. Definitely the only one to pick this album. One of my favorite albums ever. It is Bestial Warlust, Vengeance War Till Death. This album sounds like you're under artillery fire in Vietnam. Like shells are just raining down on top of you. You're losing your hearing. You have ringing in your ears. You're probably gonna die soon. That's probably what this sounds like. It's a pretty noisy album, very violent. Good album to work out to. It's really hard to describe. I just say YouTube it, but I don't really recommend it to people because you hear it, you're like, yep, no thanks. I don't need to hear any more of that in my life. It's just I'm gonna say it makes Cannibal Corpse kind of sound like Michael Bolton. It's that fucking noisy. So
I like Michael Bolton.
I
Celebrate his whole catalog.
Boom.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm just trying to contextualize it. So that's how I'm gonna go with it. And my number one favorite album from that year, going over to Italy, is another obscure underground black metal album. Fucking surprise. The band is Mortuary Drape, and the album is All the Witches Dance. And this album is it's not like typical Scandinavian black metal, because when you think of black metal, you think of you think of all the stuff from Norway, Sweden and stuff. And that's fine, because that was always the most popular stuff. And those bands had a particular sound, which I love, but there was black metal from all over the world, the Mediterranean countries, Greece, Italy, a lot from America, obviously South America, Australia. So there's a lot of cool Italian bands back then. And Mortuary Drape was one of my favorite ones. And they were way more of it's almost more of a Celtic Frost, Merciful Fate kind of sound. It's not blast beats all the time. There's almost no blast beats on this album. It's just good classic heavy metal with that hammer horror, kind of old, Italian giallo feel to it, which I fucking love. So the Italian bands did that really well. And allegedly, I don't know if this is true or not, the corpse on the cover of this is real. And apparently the band might have exhumed it from a grave for the album cover, which is illegal.
Jeez.
What's
But,
the actual F?
yep. So there you go. Now if that's true or not, I can't
Why
say.
they do this? Why they do this?
I don't know, but all the
I can't
witches
say.
do dance. I like to dance.
Ryan, remember when we saw them perform in Brooklyn, correct?
We did.
That was Brooklyn?
They played in Clean Biters. Yeah, I've seen them quite a few times, but yeah, it was the last time you and me saw them. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah, they were- you
Maybe
know what?
we're
And
looking for a necrotic gallbladder.
I think I've said this before on the show, but Italian bands are the only ones that can get away with wearing capes and robes and 70s rock. 70s prog and Italian black metal.
Oh,
Anybody else, don't wear a fucking cape or a robe on stage. These guys can get away with it. So they were up there playing with these big purple robes, like really like they just stole them out of a Catholic church. They were fucking awesome. So yeah, that's my number one pick is Mortuary Drake.
Okay, well, I gotta ask you, what does your shirt say?
I was gonna say that.
Okay.
Vara. Varathon.
I thought it was,
Varathon. It's,
Varatheron.
I thought it was Warthorn.
No, it says
Oh, yeah.
Varatheron.
did see that.
Varatheron.
Varatheron.
Varatheron, say it with me.
Ryan,
Varatheron.
honorable mention in the black metal world, I would have to wish we mentioned was Ancient, the album Svartalfheim was excellent from that year.
Svartalfheim, of course.
Yo,
You know,
Mike,
I got one more, Nick. I'll throw it in since you mentioned it from Japan because I don't want to leave Japan out.
Akira. Oh,
Sabat
Oh,
Fetishism. It's like the 4th or 5th Sabat album, and these guys are like Hellhammer, Venom, Bathory, like that old rotten ass black metal from the 80s. So
you know,
they're one of the first bands to play that style. I think actually they formed almost like the year after Venom. Like they're that old, but they didn't get to put it out albums until a while later. So nice little pink artwork in there too. That's all I got.
Yeah, speaking of black metal, nobody mentioned we had two fairly good Enslaved albums in 1994.
I
Yes.
mentioned it real quick.
He did mention it real quick, Nick.
Yeah, I didn't hear you.
Real
Okay,
quick.
sorry.
Nobody heard.
Frost came out.
Frost, especially. Yeah. All right, I'll go through mine pretty quick here. So lots to choose from this year. Honorable mentions, I'll throw them at the front. The Emperor in the Nightside Eclipse was one of mine, and Corrosion of Conformity, Deliverance almost made my number 3, but they got booted to one that I'm going to mention in a couple minutes. But first of all, Dream Theater Awake, their 3rd album. All right.
Yeah.
6 o'clock on a Christmas morning, Caught in the Web, Space Dive S, Scarred. Really good, pretty heavy album from Dream Theater, pretty proggy, very catchy. Good
Last
stuff.
one I ever cared about.
Yes.
And number 2, no, this is not a black metal album, although it probably looks like it. This is
Sure
the
does.
2nd album from Swedish progressive rock act Anglagard. It's called Epilogue, all instrumental.
Ooh.
Mellotrons, Hammond organ, Moog synthesizer, acoustic guitar, electric
Oh,
guitar,
I wanna hear
Taurus
that.
bass pedals, Rickenbacker bass, amazing flute, absolutely amazing. If you love King Crimson, old Genesis,
That's fucking awesome.
Jethro Tull, it's so good. They only released, they have 3 albums. They released 2 albums in the 90s, broke up for like a decade, then came back, put out another album.
I see the.
Absolutely amazing
Is that
stuff.
a
I
face?
was gonna say it. Yeah, I
Oh, yeah,
see
yeah.
I see the face.
Yeah,
I see that.
It's a
Yeah.
face. That's
pretty cool, right?
Tribute.
Yeah.
I want to listen to that.
Yeah, it's
Give it up.
amazing. It's called Anglagard. They're really, really good. Really,
Anglagard.
really great pastoral progressive rock. It sounds like it was recorded in 1971. That's how cool it is. And then my last pick of the day, the Allman Brothers Band, Where It All Begins. One of
Wow.
many great comeback albums from them in the 90s. This is just killer. It's got Soul Shine. I mean, I love Warren Haynes. He's like a big part of the band at the time. All Night Train, Soul Shine, Sailing Across the Devil's Sea. Great bluesy Southern rock, classic rock, whatever the hell you want to call it. Love this album to death. So those are my picks. And well, we look at the time, Chris Allo.
Wow.
Probably should buy me dinner. Chris was like, this show's going to be 2 hours. I don't care what you say, Pete. I'm like, nah.
2
hour
hours.
list,
Too
trust
high?
Oh, right, because our shows have never been more than 2 fucking hours, for Christ's
I
sake.
know, but dude, listen. I'm doing shots. It cannot be 2 hours.
No, it's
It's hot in here.
To open the window for
I
something.
We
did.
did.
Okay.
Fucking hot in here.
You know what? I want to mention one album that I had on my list, and I didn't mention it just because I was trying to move along. I want to mention the great Biohazard records, State of the World Address. That record is
Uh-huh.
phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
That's a great.
Uh-huh.
It's a
Take
state of the
shoot.
world address.
I think Butch
Yep.
worked for you worked for Z-Rock in '94. I do believe. I think we had a Pantera record release party at the shop, and I don't know if that was one. Remember, we had a couple promotions where you guys brought down the limo or whatever you had going on then.
I don't remember if I was there though. I know that probably would have been Stacy. I don't know if I was there or not.
Just kind of jogged the memory of we did work together with that station with Rock Fantasy back in the day. Then.
Yep, no, absolutely. They were great times, man, for sure.
Yep.
And we got Biohazard to play at Sportland.
Now I got that Biohazard song in my head, 5 blocks to the subway.
Yep, exactly.
That didn't take much, right?
5 blocks.
No, I mentioned it. Boom, there it's in my head now.
By the way, Butch, I didn't mention it on last week's show, but one of your picks for the song that you can't get out of your head, that we all had the wrong lyric for. I had that stuck in my head for like 3 days after last
What
month.
is it?
The England Ford, yeah, you missed it. The England Ford and John Ford Collier. And they said the same line you said,
What?
the bringing in the linen. I'm not talking about the linen.
I'm not talking about my linen. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about my linen. I'm not talking about
And
moving in.
I don't want to change your line. Show me
And I'd really like to see it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great song.
I said it first.
I
70s.
told it.
Great
Someone said, and I said, I think Pete even said, I said that's exactly what Lynn sings.
All I'm saying is, I think
I-
we need a fucking show on me singing the wrong lyrics. We need a show on that.
Yeah.
They're very good lyrics.
1994, there was a pretty big concert at the fairgrounds in Middletown with Metallica, Suicidal Tendencies, and
I worked
Danzig.
that
Yeah,
show.
I was there.
Oh, yeah,
I
saw
was
that in
a
New
runner.
Jersey.
And that was the day that the Rangers celebrated the cup.
So you didn't go.
And I couldn't,
I
I
know.
went to the show. I couldn't go
It
to,
was also the day that O.J. Simpson led everyone on a wild chase.
And Steve, during that wild goose chase, I was sitting in Jerry's restaurant at the bar, getting ready to go to Metallica, getting hammered, watching O.J. Simpson driving around, having the cops chase him for hours. That was so entertaining. So entertaining.
I saw it at Sportland after because we were running a promotion and I had left Metallica before it was completely over to get over there and everybody was watching the TV and like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy evening. So,
That was also my
What a year.
first concert.
I can see it.
what a
My
year,
first concert.
1994, right? God, it'll be
I
30
think I'm
years.
gonna go
ago.
home with a
39.
prize. I'm taking these
Crazy.
glasses home.
Crazy, crazy. All right, so how about some final words from the couple days past birthday boy before we sign out and say goodbye to everybody? Butch, final words of the day.
bourboning. Thank you, birthday. Appreciate it, everybody.
Woo!
And
Happy
Woo.
birthday, Butch.
thank you for this damn shirt.
You gotta wear it next week.
I know, I'm gonna have to wear it next week now. Against my will. But thanks
Maybe
a
we'll
lot.
just show back up. You never know who's gonna show up.
Never know, never know. Rich, you want to plug what's coming up on the Mental Asylum tonight, right?
Yeah, gonna talk to Frank White, photographer,
Ooh.
Alan Tecchio from Hades, Mike Sabatini from Attacker, and Amy Sharetto, she's a publicist. We're gonna connect it to the book that Frank and Alan are working on, the New Jersey Metal book.
Oh, cool. Yeah, very nice.
Then we're gonna do some other series coming up after that, get some other New Jersey people, that worked in the industry, band members, things like that, people that worked at clubs. So
Right.
that's tonight, actually, after I get off here.
There you go.
Cool.
So
You know
check
what,
it out,
let me-
everybody, when you get a chance.
I do want to say one thing. He just kind of reminded me of it. Happy birthday to Blitz from Overkill today.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Woo.
Bobby's birthday, yes, happy birthday, Blitz.
So,
Happy
Blitz.
birthday.
Hopefully we'll get him on too, at some point.
There you go.
Nice.
Cool. Steve, you got anything coming up on Rock Fantasy Files this week?
What we are planning on doing on Wednesday, we're gonna visit the Scorpions, and we're gonna talk about our favorite songs and from the Roth era, Bewley Roth era up into the Jabs era, and talk about the Scorpions on Wednesdays. So got a lot of other things going on in that channel too. There's a Slayer episode coming out with a panel for this week also. So we're kind of busy with it.
Cool. Very good.
Mm.
Coming up here on the channel, we got tomorrow night in the Prague seat. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite Canadian prog bands, not named Rush. Thursday night, we've got Chris and Rich and myself just kind of giving us some recommendations of some things we've watched recently. And then next week, we've got the special effects crew from Spookies coming on. So all sorts of things happening on the channel this week, next week, the week after. And of course, this whole gang will be back a week from tonight. So for Steve Keeler, the birthday boy, Butch Jones, Lynn Versace, Nick Franco, who are on location today, Chris Allo, Ryan Scow, and Rich Catino. Have I mentioned everybody? Steve Keeler, I think I got everybody. Chris, I got everybody. I am Pete Pardo. Good night, everybody. We'll see
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Bye-bye.
All the damn time.
All the damn time. That's right. Good night, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.